Hey guys, and welcome to a game between TheViper and Tim. So this is a game from the Masters of Arabia tournament from 2012. So this is back all the way at the height of the Viper-Tim rivalry. And now that we have King of the Desert going on, I figured now would be a nice time to just go back and revisit some of these classic games between these two players. This is 2012 Viper, so not quite the Ortjan Larsen we know today, but this was one of his earlier, I think maybe this is one of his first major events. And you can tell it's old because this is before the nice user patch spectating features. So players had to spectate by co-oping with players and not touching anything while the players were playing the game. And I also put team colors on because the players switch colors several times throughout the series and it gets confusing. So Viper is playing in the yellow, but for this series he's going to be blue and Tim will be red. And Kiss BB is indeed Tim. So here we have the Viper playing as the Huns. This is a best of 5 series. They're all mirror matches. It's going to be Huns, Aztecs, Mayans, and then if necessary Spanish, then Mongols. And right away we see Tim already scouting the Viper, as Viper has putting his lumber camp over here. Tim didn't go for that boar steal. Viper's map, forward golds, forward hill, that's pretty bad. Stone in the back, gold in the back, that's good. Could probably wall up over here and be safe. Another forward boar over here, we'll probably see him going for the boar next. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, if we look at Tim, we see all of his resources are over by this hill, so how he defends this hill is going to be an important part of the game. And stealing a sheep from the Viper. See, Viper's scout isn't nearby, so I don't think he'll be able to defend from that. He's probably just going to lose that sheep as he sends this one around the forest just to keep it safe. Tim looks like he's searching for that other scout, but see, Viper, he sees that boar. Will he be tempted to steal it? And Tim sending a villager, but yep, there we go, Viper stealing it. And so, I guess we're off to a lame start here, as Viper would say, were we to make a hastily scripted video and send him lines to record at 3 a.m. But Tim's going to bring his scout back. That villager is going to kill a deer since it ran all this way out. Has loom, so it won't die to that wolf. And Viper bringing his sheep over, that's a mistake because Tim's scout is there. Might bring the boar in, but he will probably lose that sheep. And has lost a lot of HP on that scout. Going to be losing even more. Tim not trying to block the boar, just trying to attack the scout. So ideally, you can block the scout so the boar attacks it, because the boar does more damage than your scout. Or you block the boar to cause it to run too far away from the scout. But Viper, he's going to have that, but he will lose another sheep and could even lose a third. No, the scout's going to run away to protect this sheep. But he did get the boar. That's 340 food compared to the 100 food on each of those sheep, but he will be down in sheep, and he will be down in a lot of HP on the scout, which is probably the bigger concern in Arabia. Let's see, will he get the sheep back? Tim needs to be careful with his scout. He will get it back, but Tim can kill it. That's a lot of HP lost on the scout, and yeah. So, somewhat making up for the stolen boar by killing the sheep, and at least getting a lot of damage on that scout. So, Tim is doing pretty well so far. Despite losing that boar. And it looks like they're still even on vills. Tim's only one behind, but that's probably due to loom. Yeah, that's due to loom. And so let's continue looking at their maps real quick. Tim, relic in the back, that's nice. Stone in the front. Another stone on the side. That villager just now coming back. Bit of a waste of time going out there, even if it did take the deer. I suppose that's better than just walking back, as villager is not quite chopping the right trees. So they go around the side. Let's see, Viper will see those deer there. And Tim, let's check what Tim has scouted so far in Viper's base. He sees the golds back there. He sees the stones kind of forward, and someone's flaring. The boar is coming in. I guess that's one of the spectators flaring. I don't know if the players can see that. They probably can, so they probably shouldn't be flaring. I don't know, that's not a thing anymore. Ooh, this is going to be a dangerous boar lord trying to go through that gap near the berries, and not quite going to get it. Going to try again, but that villager is going to stand there and block for a bit, and nope, he's not going to get it, and it's going to run all the way back. Didn't have that villager attack it in time, and it's going to go back, and Tim's bringing his scout over. Will he see this? He'll see the war running. Will he be able to lame it? Probably not going to be in time. That is downhill, but he does have Loom now, so not that big of a deal. Keeping the low HP villagers under the TC, and that boar will come in. And both players even on villagers now. So it's a slightly better start for the Viper with that boar lane, but did let his sheep get stolen and another one get killed, so not too big of an advantage, especially with that low HP on his scout. Tim now just going to his second lumber camp. It's like both these players not quite as efficient as they would like to be, going up on an extra villager. Viper is slightly ahead, as Tim is up only 4 seconds difference, not that big of a deal. Micro those villagers on the wood. There we go. There we go. And we'll see, what is Viper doing? He's sending villagers over here. Is he going for gold? Yeah, looks like it. He'll probably go for archers then. And let's see, Tim, has he scouted that area of the map? He has, so if he scans with the palisade, he'll be able to see that. And, Viper left his scout idle, lost even more HP from that villager. Yeah, you normally do not want to be attacking villagers with your scout in the Dark Age, because a loomed villager will beat the scout, and that just means the scout loses HP while the villager just goes and farms under the TC, and it doesn't really make much of a difference. But we see Tim walling up, and this wall is, I guess, pretty much as forward as he could. It's probably too big of an area to wall off here and here, but that means he's going to have stone outside of his walls, and doesn't really have much gold other than his main gold. Of course, this is safe, and that's the most important thing in the early game, but he'll need to do something to control this area of the map, to control this stone and make sure he doesn't get denied if he wants to go for stone walls. And we do see him putting his barracks there, and I guess we will see military buildings coming up over here as well. And see, Viper should know that he's not going for archers or anything, so he can palisade scan that gold. And he will see the stable coming up, so the scout is forced to run away and will probably die. A bit late putting down that stable, but there we go, as the scout dies and the stable is coming up. So Viper will know he's going for scouts. Meanwhile, the Viper is putting down his ranges, has a couple of villagers on gold, and is going to be going straight into archers. His archers are pretty normal to see on a 23 pop Feudal Age, but scouts, it's probably one villager slow just from losing that boar. And stable goes up, and we'll probably see the scouts coming out. My hotkey's all messed up because this game's so old and I have to press Control L. Okay, and now here we go, Tim. Classic Tim, putting up these stone walls all the way across the map. And no stone walls over here. Only has 50 stone though, so probably won't be able to finish that. And unfortunately for him, all of his stone is forward, so might not be able to finish these stone walls. But Viper coming forward with the spearman. I know he likes to do that in his scout rushes, or when he sees his opponents going scouts, just to try to get some pressure, but not really going to do much as the scouts run away, and Tim's going to be walled. Just quickly finish that up, and yeah, not much Viper can do, keeping the villager on the inside. And so Viper's going to see that he's walled up completely. And Viper also going for a few walls of his own, getting some palisades down here. Scouts might be able to get in, even though there's only 3 of them if they run straight down there, but probably not going to realize that. Will Viper see these scouts in the fog? Yeah, looks like they're not going to get in. They'll come around the front and they'll see those rangers, so Tim should know by now, if he doesn't already, that Viper is going for archers. And Tim, probably not going to make too many more scouts because he's safe behind these stone walls. Probably we'll see him just try to go up quickly to the castle age and get up first. Let's see, what's he doing over here? We'll see a bit of action down here. Viper not getting that wall up in time. Scouts will get some HP lost on that villager, but Viper has a spearman back to defend. Not going to do much damage. We'll run towards the wood line, get a hit on a villager, but oops, no, not even running long enough for the animation to finish. Looks like he's losing control of his scouts a bit there, trying to probably left them on aggressive stance instead of stand ground, and going to run away. Probably would have seen Viper quick wall that nowadays just to try to trap the scouts, but they did do the right thing and go around, and he'll see that Viper also is walled, and those scouts not really going to be able to do much damage. Villagers standing idle there. Viper probably trying to micro the spears. See how long she stays idle. That's not good if Tim would run back there, but finally noticed. And none of those berry villagers really that injured, just causing a tiny bit of idle time. Meanwhile, Viper is sending his archers out across the map. He has fletching, but he's not going to be able to do much with them. And hopefully they'll go straight to that stone and be able to deny those villagers. If we check Tim's stone count, as someone is flaring here for some reason. I guess that's just a spectator talking about gold. Only 31 stone, so he's going to need a market if he wants more town centers. I don't know if that's Tim's style. His style is, I think, he's normally stone wall and go knights, so he might just go knights and reclaim that stone before he really needs it. And so yeah, not much Viper can do with those archers other than deny that stone. Other stone is, of course, outside, and now outside of the stone wall is Tim. Tim does indeed get all of his walls up. Let's see, Feudal archers probably can't harass that gold, but maybe crossbows with bodkin or cavalry archers could be able to reach that. And the mangonel could shoot over those walls. As the scout's coming in, doing a bit more damage, but it doesn't look like they managed to pick off a villager, just dying to spearmen. And archers could come over and finish that. Yep, Viper's on top of that. And we'll get a shot boop, but the scout will dodge, will get away. No. With poor micro by Tim, he probably could have saved that scout. Archers coming over to the left side, but not seeing anything, and now probably not the right decision to move them over here. Probably should have just left one villager back by that stone, because now Tim will be able to get some more stone. We see he's up to 51 right now, and I think you really don't want to let Tim get the stone for another town center if you can avoid it. But let's see, Viper's now doing wheelbarrow. And Tim has now clicked up to the castle edge, as archers are going to come back and force those villagers off of the stone. And not much else, they're just going to attack that stable, and well, he has enough archers, he could really do some damage to that stable, we'll see. Not going down that fast, but if he keeps adding more archers, could apply some pressure to it. And let's go to Viper's Eco, and we'll see he's getting close to clicking up to the castle edge. Just saw him do wheelbarrow, he'll probably make these two villagers and then click up. Meanwhile, Tim, it looks like he is indeed going for knights, putting a second stable in the back. Probably look to go knights from, I would say 2 stables, but this one's going to go down. Let's see, gold mining, blood lions, castle edge, yep, pretty standard for him, with make a few scouts, stone wall, go into knights. Let's just check their, even doing the armor upgrade on the knights. So let's just check their eco upgrades real quick. So I forgot this productive I want, for Orgyan, we have hasn't done horse collar. He probably forgot about that, and that's harmful because he's probably going to forget about that for a long time since you don't do heavy plow right at the start of castle. Does have double bit axe, doesn't have gold mining yet. Kind of strange when you're going for archers. Meanwhile, Tim has, he does have all of his feudal eco upgrades. So good spot for him. Putting that stable up in the back. Viper does have the score lead right now significantly since Tim clicked up the castle, and putting a second stable. I guess he's expecting this stable to die. Maybe we'll see him wall over here, and it looks like he's doing just that. He wants to keep these archers. If they break through the stable, he doesn't want them running out to the rest of his base. He wants to keep them nice and contained. If he can keep them inside of his stables, he can just spawn the knights on top of them and deal with them. Yeah, and even putting another palisade layer behind that just to keep them in this area. And yeah, Viper's just sending his archers forward. He has complete control of the map for now, and losing a stable is pretty big. It makes you spend 175 wood on another stable that you could be spending on a town center. And Tim, of course, doesn't have the stone for a town center. And we'll see, I still have these graphics mods on. But knights coming out of the stables, so 3 knights. Probably get a knight out of this one before it goes down. 3 knights. He does have the armor on them, probably will be able to push these archers back. Probably will need that second round of knights to come back and can engage. And we'll probably see Viper kill that stable and then probably pull his army back so he can upgrade it to crossbows. And it looks like that's what he's doing now. Yeah, it goes down. And will he move in? Ooh, he is moving in. And let's check his vision. What does he see? He sees 2 more stables, a farm, and a siege workshop coming up. So at least he will force Tim to put up a siege workshop before he does the town center. And yeah, that can actually be a really big investment, sending 200 wood into that siege workshop, and then you'd be spending another 160 wood, 135 gold on a mangonel, and that can really delay your town centers and hurt your economy. But it's worth it if you need to defend from archers. Don't know if that was very necessary from Tim since he does have all these knights here. But Viper's army will be moving back. Will move onto the hill, where he'll be pretty safe from the knights because he'll have the hill advantage. And once he gets crossbows, he can just kind of camp this hill. Not going to be able to do much damage though, because let's take a look at his economy. Lots of farms, putting up another archery range, 3 ranges, so yeah, we'll be going into cav archers. Generally, we know that he does prefer cav archers to knights. And with these walls of Tim, we'll see what Viper decides to do. Of course, Tim, with the stables, we'll be massing up knights before Viper really does get a chance to get his Castle Age army out, but he does have a lot of crossbows. So Tim's going to have to be really careful with how he micros these knights, and could get some early pickoffs here of the cavalry archers. Locally is doing Vosar, is Viper now putting some stone behind his palisades to keep everything safe. And the knights are, let's see, are they going to run in? Is that villager standing idle in the same space again? He's just going to try and attack an archery range, but I don't think there's a hole where he can get in, but enough cav archers here, he'll probably be able to force this back. He can't just keep hacking at that range with the archers firing at him, but he will force Viper to spend wood repairing that range. Of course, you do not want to lose that range for nothing, but here come the crossbowmen from behind, and Tim's going to get back. And, ooh, can Viper trap these? Moving over here, but not quite in time. Doesn't have ballistics yet, so the knights will be able to get away with only taking a couple volleys. Not even a single one gets lost there. And yeah, they're away. Has some spearmen over here, but not really going to catch anything. Does have a nice crossbowman over here to see if Tim's up to anything suspicious. But other than that, Tim adding in some knights, adding in a monastery. That's interesting. He's still adding in a monastery, rebuilding a lumber camp before going for a town center. We'll see. Yeah, because now he pushed those archers away. He can't take that stone back. So maybe not the right order of buildings. I guess he does want to take some relics, but probably could have gotten a town center up earlier. But we see Viper just getting up a town center now and moving villagers over to gold. Tim losing a couple knights, but still, they should be able to run away from the crossbowmen. Viper might have wanted to delete one of those walls just to get the cav archers out to chase down those knights, but looks like crossbowmen will try to chase them down, but knights are probably too fast and they should get away from that. Ooh, they're even looping back around. Viper's going to just completely miss them as he runs around the other side of the forest. So, nice control of the knights by Tim so far. And we see he does have a monk, so he's going to be picking up the relics. He has one there, one out here, but see, there's one here, another here, and one out here, so maybe we'll be able to get 2 of them. And now, doing the +2 armor on the knights, he'll be able to take fights with crossbowmen, and he stopped producing knights for the minute. Looks like he's focusing on his economy. The resources, yeah, he's going to put down another town center. I guess that's about as good of a spot as he could have put it, because there's so many hills back here, and not really any room on his gold now that he's already put the blacksmith and mining camp there. Maybe we could have deleted the mining camp and put it here somewhere to protect the gold, but there's a stone wall on the mangonel there. It should be safe anyway. And Viper now moving out across the map with his cav archers on 3 town centers, and no, 2 town centers so far, finally putting up the university. Players still pretty close in villages so far, but Viper is significantly ahead in military. He has a lot of cav archers, and all these crossbowmen are still alive, and score lead shows that. Their economy is still pretty similar, but Viper's military count is just a lot higher. And we'll see how well Tim's able to control this. He's repairing the mangonel as the cav archers just fire at it. No micro there from the Viper losing the cav archers, but we'll get a mangonel and 3 villagers. And we'll see, can the cav archers reach across that wall? They have 6 range. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Might be able to reach those villagers on the side, but these villagers are safe for now. It is Tim's only gold though, so if Viper can control this hill, but won't be able to do that because Tim's bringing his knights over with now +1 attack and +2 defense. And Viper even going for the armor upgrades on his cav archers. Let's see, has he done, if we go to Viper's point of view, has he done ballistics yet? University. Yes, he has done ballistics, so he'll be able to take fights. He's trying to come forward and make a siege workshop, and we see he has a much larger army than Tim. But Tim has these 2 mangonels. Will he be able to get some good shots here? And gets 2 mangonel shots. Ooh, kills a bunch of cav archers there. As gets a second shot. Is He'll take out even more of them. Gets a couple nice shots on the Cav Archers and Expos over here. But ooh, another mangonel shot. Great mangonel shots there by Tim, clearing up so much of that army. Tim should not have won that fight, but those two mangonels just killed everything here. And now Viper is going to run his crossbowman into that little oasis, or that little pond. So Viper will have to run his knights, or Tim will have to run his knights away. Can't really fight that. And it looks like the spectators resigned. I guess maybe they were causing lag or something, but players are still playing on. Tim, don't lose your knights to those crossbowmen. Bring the rest of his knights in the back. He could clean all of this up, maybe, but no, he's going to run away. He's running away because he has a mangonel coming forward, and he has stopped that siege workshop. 68%, so a little over 100 wood. Vipers wasted, and we see the military numbers, 16 to 24. And Tim, can he get another mangonel shot? Yes, he did. Those Cav Archers are surrounded, and Viper's micro looks like certainly isn't anywhere near the level today that it was, or back then isn't anywhere near the level that it is today. Just now doing Thumb Ring, still continuing to make Cav Archers, and that villager coming back, not even going to attempt to finish that. I'll have to delete that eventually. Viper now is pulling ahead in villagers, even though Tim has gotten the score lead, putting his third town center up, and we'll see villagers coming over here. Where are they going? There's a red dot down here. That's a monk. I guess they're going after this gold. Probably put a town center or a mining camp there. And we'll see Tim looks like he is still on 2 town centers, has one of the relics. And yeah, going to put a town center out on this gold, keep those villagers safe. Ooh, really late on the wheelbarrow though. 100 population, 30 minutes in the game. Just now getting wheelbarrow. Yeah, Viper probably will have the stronger economy now, just because he had his upgrades a bit sooner. Let's just we'll check those upgrades again, and we'll see. Oh, still hasn't gotten horse collar though. That's not good. He does have wheelbarrow, but it's gonna be a lot of wood he's not gonna have because he has to spend it receiving these farms. Maybe he'll notice that he has to replant farms and go and do it, but it might just be something he forgets. Yeah, that's not an upgrade you want to forget. He's extending his walls, adding in, a 4th town center even. So he's going for the Smarthy Boom approach. And let's see, Cav Archers coming out here. Knights running past them. Ooh, Cav Archers will pick off the villagers. Nice play by Viper with the awareness that villagers want to move out there, but Tim's Knights are coming in. And we'll see what he's able to do. Ooh. Cav Archers going for the villagers, running right into the knights. That's a great micro by Tim, moving those knights in on probably either no attack stance or stand ground, then changing them to aggressive once they were mixed up inside of those Cav Archers. That was just a brilliant play by Tim. He got so much damage on the Cav Archers there, and Viper has an army here. Tim going to force Tim back, but maybe we'll see some even better mangonel shots as Tim now putting that's his 4th town center here. His 4th town center over here on the side. And Knights running up the hill. And see, military counts, Viper still in the lead, still has kept his crossbows alive, opening up a pretty good score lead. He's still in a pretty good position to take this game. Tim, looks like he's even getting a 3rd relic from the middle of the map. Viper, unfortunately not paying attention to that. Tim trying to sneak a few knights into his base. Viper not really going to accomplish much damage, and will die to the ballistics, but that does move the Cav Archers over here, and in the meanwhile, as Viper is moving his army over, Tim is able to move his army, or at least his mangonel, up the hill and bring the Cav Archers. Cav Archers are running away to the right, and that's bad because all these crossbowmen are now going to die as the Knights again, after the mangonel shot, again another really nice movement on the Knights by Tim, moving them into the archers, changing the attack stance to aggressive, and killing these archers. As they go down, and military counts now evened up, and especially with that mangonel, Tim's probably able to push with +2 Knights into these Cav Archers, and bad timing by Viper trying to put up a town center here. And I don't know if he'll be able to get that up. He does have the hill, but we'll see how much damage this mangonel is able to do. If the mangonel can do damage, then Viper could lose his army. And we'll see. Is Viper microing? Trying to micro, but looks like he's still getting a shot off. 2nd mangonel shot. on top of the cav archers. He did get a convert, but more knights coming in from the rear from Tim, reinforcing from his stables. Mangonel goes down, but it looks like Tim is taking this fight. Monk will go down. Will that town center? No, it's only 70%. That's not going to go up. Villagers being forced away. Viper forced to move his army back. He'll lose all those villagers. And still, he still does have a pretty good eco lead, but Tim now has taken control of this map. He's taking control of all these gold in front of Viper's base, and now has managed to secure this hill. This stone wall being nice for him at the beginning since Viper couldn't really pressure that hill, and that led to him being able to move those villagers out there and build that town center. And this town center now is just going to be hacked away by knights. Eventually it'll go down. Viper putting down a market, and we'll see he doesn't have the greatest resources, not anywhere close to Imperial. I guess Tim really isn't either. Both players investing heavily into their Castle Age armies. Moving cav archers out, not sure that's the right play. It looks like Tim is switching into... Yep, Tim now is also switching into cavalry archers, doing the padded archer armor. Has the attack upgrades, doesn't have the armor. We will lose these villagers though. But I don't see a red dot. I don't see where they would be going. With this villager... Ooh, Viper not killing the villager and running his cav archers into Tim's army. Who's going to lose a few more of them. And knights chasing down those cav archers on the side. And now Tim taking a big score lead. If you look at the KD, his movement on with his control of those knights and movement in those engagements, use of those mangonels was just spectacular. Viper not really microing the cav archers, not winning engagements when he probably did have the military count. That was just great timing by Tim, having those few knights get Viper to move his army away as he came in and took the hill and took out those crossbows. And now, this map control, all of this in favor of Tim. Viper's not going to be able to take those 2 golds. See, he has moved out to this extra gold down at the bottom, but it's going to be that, and it looks like he's his main gold is back here, and now he's all lined up for that. So Tim still has 1, 2, 3 places where he's taking gold, still running a few cav archers around, but Viper only has, not even 3 full tiles of gold left. He really needs to move out to secure this area of the map. If Tim can just hold here, then he'll win. He has a pretty big score lead, and I'm not sure if there's much Viper can do to come back at this point. We'll see what type of armor he has inside those. Yeah, not many cav archers even inside those ranges either, as the ranges are going to be taking out. Tim now moving in with Rams, trying to end the game. He's even stonewalling up those golds, just trying to keep them safe. And that monastery, that's going to go down. One range has already gone down. This one will probably go down as well. Viper, it's going to be adding in pikemen. You see Tim has been going heavy into knights, so he's adding in pikemen, but Tim also has made the switch to cavalry archer. Will be able to deal with them, doing ballistics right now. So I'm not sure if pikemen is going to help out here. Tim just has a huge army advantage now, up by 30, and I don't know if there's anything Viper can do to come back. He really needs to add lots of barracks and mass up trash units, but in terms of gold units, he's going to be really far behind. And ooh, letting Tim's knights in inside the gates, will he? No, he's not going to stay there and hold the gate open, so probably will lose those knights needlessly. Maybe he gets snag a village to kill off a couple of 1 HP farms, but yeah, not really going to do much, just going to lose those knights. But at the same time, does distract the cav archers, does allow them to finish off these ranges. Looks like 2 more will go down. It's really going to stop Viper's production as Tim just pulling ahead and scored. And oh, here we are, Viper trying to put up a defensive castle. Tim's letting his Rams get a bit ahead of his cav archers, and they will be taken out by the pikemen. But now going to come up here and engage. Viper's always in a really nice spot here, sitting underneath that gate, and he's moving forward with the pikemen. And I don't know, Tim probably should try to get back here. You don't want to lose control of this area of the map. Don't lose your army. But still an army advantage. Managing to clear this up with those pikemen, doing some good damage, losing most of his knights. But man, he's still downhill from those cav archers as his castle goes up. And I don't know. It's still a good fight to kill a lot of Viper's army, but no, he's lamed the gold. Just get back a little bit, camp the hill. Don't let Viper move out onto this hill. If you control this hill, you control both of those golds. You control the game from here. Now Viper closing up a bit on score lead. Ooh, he didn't have bloodlines either on his cavalry archers. It's huge. That's how Tim was able to take those fights. Viper had forgotten bloodlines up until now. Wow, that's a huge mistake by the Viper. Because he went straight into archers, he didn't put down the stable to go scouts and cav archers, and therefore he didn't have the stable to do bloodlines. And now trying to add in more ranges, trying to take control of this area of the map again as Tim's numbers are going down, but Viper's numbers are going down even more. Tim is going to be up to Imperial Age as Viper's now doing the mining upgrades. Trying to control this area with a castle, but no. Tarkans really are not a thing back then. They didn't have the extra pierce armor like they do in the Forgotten Empire's changes. And cav archers still killing pikemen, just on top of that hill, can even deal with skirmishers okay. Will eventually go down as Viper does try to move out, but doesn't really have gold. See, how's this gold doing down here? And yeah, he is pretty much out of gold at this point. If you look at his resources, only 400 gold left. He's not going to be able to do anything but spam trash units. And there you go. Which looks like he just sold a bunch of resources for the gold. And what is he doing? Is he trying to click up? Let me switch. This is his point of view. There you go, yeah, he just sold a bunch of resources to try to click up to the Imperial Age. Only has not even 200 gold left, but he has cleaned up Tim's army. And we'll see, Tim hasn't been sending reinforcements, so we'll see what is Tim doing now. Expanded out, ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stables and a market. Gotta include the forward market with the stables. But looks like he's doing Cavalier. We'll probably try to spam Paladin. Paladin in a 1v1. Might not have the gold for the upgrade, but again, he has access to lots of gold. Still, these 2 gold mines are still left, even though he did finish his main gold. Able to take that stone as well. Does he have a castle? I think that's the castle hockey. No, doesn't. So we'll be missing conscription, but getting all the upgrades, and there we go. Has enough income on his resources that he'll be able to collect Paladin right away, even coming out and taking the map's extra stone. Cavalier, 2-man star, blast furnace, and just now horse collar. Just saw that being completed for the Viper. Really late on that economy age, and we can see just how far behind he is. And Cavalier done. Paladin coming in, and we'll probably see one big final push from Tim as he moves to clean up this army. If he can move in before Viper gets the Halberdier upgrade, he'll be able to do a lot of damage. Even Halbs, no, Huns, I think they missed one of the blacksmith upgrades, so they don't have the best Halberdiers. Let me check that real quick. Blacksmith, yes, they missed the final armor upgrade. Trying to send some villagers forward, trying to clear out these palisade walls with his pikes just so he can build mining camp, reclaim some gold, but he's had no gold income for so long, only at 500 gold. Meanwhile, Tim has been able to mass up enough gold to do Paladin. Putting an outpost in Tim, even, let's see, that was his original wall. Armies here, probably should be doing something active with that army instead of just leaving it here, but he does want to get that Paladin upgrade. Let's see, villager from Tim attacking an outpost of the Viper down here. It's not a university. It looks really pretty with all the blue on it. But there you go. Viper up to the Imperial Age. And let's see, what is he doing? He's going for Halberdier, Heavy Plow, 2-man star, and Conscription. Wants Conscription so the units produce faster. And Tim going to put a forward castle. Hasn't really been aggressive. Let Viper kind of move out to the side here unnecessarily. But now coming in just as the Paladin upgrade finishes, he wanted to wait for his upgrades, and now all of these villagers are coming forward. Pikemen were moving out to the side, so they're out of position, and these Cavaliers, soon to be Paladin, are going to be able to clean up these skirmishers while the Pikemen are over there. Now, Halberdier upgrade just coming in, but there's so many Paladin here. They're in. That's not walled. So many idle villagers here. Viper, might have had 30 more villagers, but that's just going to drop down. Trying to wall, but I don't even know. That doesn't really matter. There's a wall back. The hole here. Tim's game to lose at this point. And even so many Paladin can even take decent fights against Halbs. Maybe not cost effectively, but when you have such a big lead in gold count, you can see he's floating over the gold, so he still can afford just to spam the Paladin and take out the Halbs. You really need to see some siege added in from Tim, maybe a few more ramps to take out those barracks, but again, Viper is off of the gold, and I don't think there's much else he can do. We saw now Tim killed enough villagers, about 20 to 30 villagers so far. Tim's taking the lead, And this looks pretty over as Viper's trying to build something on that hill, but definitely not going to be able to get that up as the paladin standing on top of the hill. That castle, not going to go up in there. No, don't even see the GG before the resignation. Viper, probably feeling salty about that one. Those were two pretty big upgrades he missed. Horse Collar really did hurt his economy, and especially Bloodlines. Here we see Tim's decision was to go for the stable. So he had Bloodlines on his knights and then later had it on his cav archers when he went into cav archers. And Viper just went straight into archers. He did put down the university in the back to prioritize getting that ballistics, but never did the stable for the Bloodlines. And that just made that mangonel over out on this hill so much more powerful, since it can kill those cav archers so much better. And even these out here in the middle of the map, when Viper tried to build that siege workshop, those two mangonels, just when your cav archers don't have Bloodlines, they're a lot more vulnerable to mangonels. And also Tim's micro with those knights, getting some really good engagements, cleaning up those crossbows when the cav archers were away, and just doing a lot of damage on the cav archers as they ran around there. And let's go take a quick look at the achievements. See, military, yeah, that KD just really in favor of Tim, really winning those engagements. Economy-wise as well, Viper had a lot more wood. That makes sense because he was going for the cav archers, but look at the difference in gold. So much of the game, he didn't have access to his gold mines. Better uptimes by Tim across the board, other than a small difference in Feudal. And 2,000 relic gold too. He got all 5 of the relics. We saw him collecting those relics. Viper didn't really pay attention to them, and that really hurt. And we see those stone walls, that period of the map there. Tim had no military, but he had stone walls, so even though Viper had military, couldn't do any damage to him. Alright, so thank you guys for watching. We'll jump into game 2 next.